brothers and sisters of light and God, welcome to my page. How you been, Underboss? What's going on? Welcome.
What's happening? What's happening? Goddammit.
I'm doing okay. As soon as I popped up in here, you popped up in here, so I can't continue on to my intro because my intro throws a lot of the masses of asses off. And of course, I'm not really interested in the masses of asses. How you been? You look like a ninja. You look like me.
I'm out here, man. I'm out here, man.
Yeah, man.
Wilderness of North America, motherfucker.
That's right. Even in Ethiopia, it's going to spread, man, because China just gave some preparations to Ethiopia because they're feeding off their land. Okay, you know, hospitality type shit. You know, trade. They don't want all of the Africans, the Ethiopians, to die over there. So I read that this recently, China just gave off some, some help tools, like supplies, so they can combat this epidemic. You know what I'm saying? But of course, I keep up on the times, okay. And but other than that, how you been, man? What's going on?
Man, I'm being good, man.
What you doing? Why you take it off?
Man, I'm home, man. I'm getting ready to go into my safe zone, so
Hey, listen to this. You should keep it on outside. You should keep it on outside because I think that it's in the air. Either it's in the air or in the water.
Okay? I don't know. I'm starting to think all kind of shit, man. I'm starting to think maybe it's awakening something that's dormant in us or something. Because it's like, how can that shit be so fucking airborne? All the way from China, all the way to fucking America. I don't know, nigga. I don't know. Maybe is possible.
What's your dog's name? What's the dog's name in the back? Who's that?
Oh, that's Lennox, the boxer. I named him after the boxer Lennox Lewis.
Yeah, you better be careful, man. He might catch it. He might catch the canary virus and spread it to you.
That's man best friend. That's man best friend. If he all right, I'm all right. Running around these streets.
I got some interesting shit to talk about, man. Yo, this Witcher 3 gives me goosebumps in my head, man. I'm telling you all about my back. Have you played The Witcher 3?
I played a little bit of it. A little bit. God, man. The story game. The story game. Yeah, I know.
It's not a hard game or anything like that. Yeah, it's not a hard game, but the story is really emotionally in depth here. Okay, and the thing is that when I started playing it, I was like, "Yo, what's so good about this goddamn Witcher 3 and shit?" So I started playing it. First of all, the music hits you right on the back. It's automatically. It's like some kind of magic spell or some shit like that. I'm like, "What the fuck?" It's the music. The music is like a Viking Celtic type, something that ancient old. And as a matter of fact, when you play the goddamn game, it gives you a description of each creature and beast that you ever can encounter in your life, different cross breeds. It tells you how to. I'm like, yo, he's a mutant. The Witcher is like I think he's like over 1,000 years old or some shit, right? And I keep telling people to watch The Witcher, okay? Because it's different. Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's on Netflix, you guys. Okay, so anyone who's watching me who just popped up in here, I'm down the rabbit hole. Just want you to understand. That means I'm all over the place. I always got something to talk about. I don't like to talk about one subject too much. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you're on here, Underboss, and I hope you got something to talk about as well. But what I'm going to talk about today, before I begin, y'all know how to follow me. Everything's in the description box. I laid it out. Okay, and so what I'm going to talk about today is how you know if you're the Jesus type. Okay. How to know, and also we're going to talk about how to protect yourself against the evil eye. Okay, people talked about the evil eye in the past. That's a form of voodoo and shit like that. And we also going to talk about parents. Who are the real parents in society? You know what I'm saying? Those are the three things I want to talk about. Okay, but other than that, what you want to talk about today?
Man, I just want to talk about what's going on in Florida. Us being locked in, pretty much. That's all. And I don't like it. I don't like being locked in like that.
Yeah, let me write that down. You want to talk about Florida? So what's going on with Florida? Okay.
Well,
what'd you hear about it?
Well, we have the youth in Florida. They're pretty much uprising, and they're like on some we're not going inside type shit. They on some resistance. Join the resistance type shit.
What?
Yeah, they on some other. Hey, that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it right there. But I'm just saying the youth in Florida is on that shit. The youth in California is on that shit. The youth in New York is on that shit. So it's a straight up split in Florida because Florida's where everybody retire at. A lot of always like you either old or you young.
Isn't the crime rate really fucking high out there? I heard the crime rate. I wanted to live out there so bad in California.
It's been low because of this shit right here. It's been pretty low.
That's a great thing. That's a great thing. Yeah.
So they're looking at it like we have a common issue. So they pretty much is like we just gonna stay outside and party. So hopefully the military doesn't have to come in. Man, these motherfuckers going crazy out here, man. It's crazy,
they still
bro.
Partying out there?
Yeah, every night, bro.
That's probably their.
I mean, I'm saying I can only speak for the hood. I can only speak for that. Like everybody's having house parties. Like nobody, you can't go to the club, so people just out, just chilling, pretty much.
Yeah, shit, man. I'd be too scared to be socialized. I'm like, have you been watching the news lately, motherfucker?
Yeah, man. It's kind of different. These big cities is different. Florida's different, bro. New York is different. We like being outside. That's what we like.
Is it official that all states are now infected by the fucking Canary virus, man? It's official.
So. Wasn't it like fucking like North Dakota or some shit that didn't have it?
I think one of them states
is like one of them white states. One of them white states.
Yeah. They probably are well protected because they always focus on the earth and they don't socialize with nobody. Those Amish type of people, man.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just wondering if all of the states are infected so far, because that's I thought it's 49 states. First I heard it was 34. Now it jumped to fucking 49. I'm like, what the hell? And what's the only fucking state that actually didn't report their fucking Canary virus, right? I'm like, oh, it's right there underneath Pennsylvania somewhere. And I'm like, oh, this is near North Carolina. I'm like, the fuck? They probably ain't telling nobody because they don't want the epidemic. They want people to come to their area. It kind of reminds me of fucking Resident Evil. Remember Resident Evil? And that whole city was on lockdown, and it was only one place that was reporting all of their crime. I mean, all of the infected and shit, and you had to go there and shit and investigate Resident Evil. Remember that?
Yep.
And that's where that guy was hanging at. What's his name? What's the guy with the glasses? I forgot what his name was. He's the one who created the virus and shit. So wherever the virus,
you got to check that movie fucking Contagion again, bro.
Contagion.
They are saying things in the movie Contagion that our government is saying right now, word for word.
Man, let me write that shit down. I gotta watch that movie, Contagion. But have you seen remember the Bird Box, right? I was telling people about the Bird Box.
I haven't seen Bird Box. Tell me about Bird Box.
I think Sarah Bullock played in that motherfucker, man. That was an excellent ass movie, man. It was like you can't see these alien species that encounter you, but if you see this alien species, you automatically go in quivers and shit. You contract the disease, you are instantly killed, or you're also, it can be a slave. It can control your mind, it can possess you, but it also can kill you. And most likely it kills most people. It's just that some few people still lived, and it don't affect people who are blind. Isn't that some shit? It don't affect people who are blind. So that's what's called Bird Box. And you have to watch it because it came on Netflix. It still may be still on there and shit. I was like, yo, what the fuck? I think something was coming when I saw that shit though. Because my wife was getting on my nerve. I said, what, you see this? My wife don't watch interesting things on TV. She just watches her Ethiopian bullshit.
I have 9 wives and all of them are going crazy.
Yeah, she be talking. I can't understand what they be saying. Okay, I know they're talking nonsense because they say that they regurgitate the same thing over. I heard that shit before. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I know Yanni Mania is a funny motherfucker because he has personality and charm. I don't care what he says, repeated redundantly over and over again. Yanni Mania is the most funniest motherfucker I know who's an Ethiopian. Okay, shout out to him. Oh my goodness! But you ever saw the Bird Box?
I haven't seen the Bird Box. I heard. I knew it was big when it came out, but I just didn't get a chance to check it, bro.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna spoil it for you. But it was so fucking good again.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it. If it's on Netflix, I'm definitely gonna check it out tonight.
And I was like, there's a lot of movies that you can't even watch, and I get tired of when you watch a movie like The Vikings. Yeah, it's based on a true story, and you can't only watch it on HBO. You can only watch it on HBO, and then they cut off a half of it, and then they only make certain things aired on certain times, and you got to pay for it at certain times, like on HBO, like The Blacklist. okay, with Mr. Reddington,
I
Raymond
seen a little
Reddington
bit
and
of that.
shit. You seen Blacklist?
I just want to see a little. Dog, I hardly ever watch TV, man. I only seen a little bit of this stuff.
Yeah, man, it's too many fucking movies on Netflix. I'm like, damn, Netflix is right next to it's real popular. I don't even hear nothing about no Hulu before. I'm like, what the hell is Hulu? Everybody's, what's Hulu? What is these other type of broadcasting stations and shit? Okay.
Which one got porn on it? That's what I want to know. Shit.
Yeah. So if anybody's in the inbox and they want to say something, y'all should say it or forever hold your peace before the coronavirus gets your peace.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I don't go outside. My wife want to try to go outside and talk to white people and stuff, and I don't have no patience with white people, but I'm like, you know, our kids are supposed to be home, right? You know, you're not supposed to be like exposed, right? You know, she kind of like not very bright. And I say, as soon as you're infected, I gotta chop your head off, right? Remember?
Oh, shit. Okay, Daddy.
I believe I'm immune though, but that's gonna lead on to my conversation. I'm gonna tell you this little story that I found out in the goddamn Witcher, man. It will blow your motherfucking mind. You ready to hear it, man?
Speak on it.
Hey, listen to this, man. Okay, I'm riding in the woods. You're the Witcher, okay, with fucking silver hair. Okay, you're looking for a certain particular individual. Okay, I have to go towards the bog, you know, because a lady knows something about this. My half-breeded daughter, which is missing, silver-headed daughter or some shit like that. It's a long story. So I go into the bog and eventually I come across this little hut in the woods, right? Okay. And there's a whole bunch of kids, and the kids are saying sticks and stones and fingers and bones, eating it for a cream pudding pie, some shit like that, right? And I'm like, yo, I hear this in the background, like an echo and shit, right? And so next thing you know, I'm coming up to the kids and say, why are you saying so despicable things? I said, we just do that for fun because our grandma teaches us this little stuff, right? So I'm like, where's your parents at? Okay, these kids are playing in the deep part of the bog, like a swamp area. Okay, poisonous gas. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, I have a mission here. So I'm looking for this lady. The lady actually finds me. She's right behind me and shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
It may not have, all these stories may not have exactly happened the same exact way I'm saying it, but I'm just exaggerating sometimes a little bit. So she comes right behind me and she says, what are you doing here? I'm like, oh shit. Get away from my kids. You don't belong in this area. You don't belong in these woods. What are you doing? And we don't need nobody. Okay, and I'm like, I'm looking for the silver-headed female, okay? And I'm also looking for the crones, okay? The crones, you know, I don't know. I'm thinking that the crones are soldiers. There's basically this pillaging and going all over the place, killing motherfucking people and kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, yo, okay, she tells me, we don't need your time. No, you don't want to get involved. So eventually I couldn't talk to the grandmother, okay? She looked like a grandmother. Okay, or she's a guardian. I don't know. She never explicitly said, okay, right? It leaves some shit up to the grass. It's like, why is she here with all these kids in the woods? Okay. So next thing you know, eventually I had to talk. One of the kids told me Johnny knows someone who saw the silver-headed woman, okay? And I couldn't talk to them because the grandma's around. So I had to lure the child out that who knew about the silver-headed girl, right? So I'm like, so I eventually lure Johnny out. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
And he tells me there's another child that used to hang with us. Okay, he looked different from us. Okay, and he lives way in the bog. I'm like, so eventually he's eventually showing me with going through the bog and sit by himself. I said to him, "Aren't you afraid of walking in the bog by yourself? Okay, there's monsters out here, right? Swamp monsters coming out of the ground." He says, "No, because this creature is luring him in the right direction, so he never gets hurt, right?" Okay, and I'm like, "Yo, okay. Let's see who this
creature is luring him in the right direction, so he won't."
Yeah, in the bog, it's dirty as hell. It's monsters and shit. I had a couple beasts in that fucking swamp and shit. It's poisonous gas too. Okay, so I'm like, eventually he leads me to this hole in the ground. Okay, and he says he's in there. He's in here. He's in there. And I'm like, okay, thank you very much. I gave him a little sweet because before you met them, you had to go through this trial and error type bullshit. That's a long story. Okay, you got to play the game, man. The story is exceptionally, man. I was like, yo,
Yeah, I
man,
played a little bit. I played a little bit of that game. And,
oh my, it's the story, man.
Game Pass on Xbox.
Oh shit, man. Yeah, yeah. I think it's best to watch the series first.
Watch it first.
Watch the series first. Then because I think that
because when I played the game, it was like a fucking part 3. I never played the other ones before. You know, it was like
I never played
some little girl or some shit I'm chasing. It's like okay.
It's a long story, man. I'm like, I might have to go play the first one and the fucking second one. I just like the graphics of the third one. It's so fucking. It's kind of like a mixer between Monster Hunter and has the lore of Dark Souls.
Souls.
Yeah. Or Demon Souls. I'm sorry. Isn't that game that Dark Souls?
No, it was Dark Souls. It was Dark Souls.
Yeah, Dark Souls 3. Yeah. The lore is fucking exceptional, man. So let me continue the story.
Fable.
Yeah, man. It's the story. It's the story pulls you because it's like a different thing. It's something different. So anyhow, Johnny leads me to this hole. So I'm calling out this little creature, and I'm calling out his name. I think his name is Brian or something like that. And he comes out with these big old eyes and shit, man. He's as small as a kid. And then Witcher is what you're saying to the creature is that are you a hoblet or a goblet? Are you an inkling? Okay. And this creature, I believe it is a godling. A godling. You ever heard of a godling before? Okay, it's some kind of creature that's connected to the earth and shit. And if you heard it, it kind of causes problems all around its surroundings. The creature actually tells me this information. I can't be around. I'm only around those kids and the grandmother because the grandmother knows me, and we work together because we help one another. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the true reason why, I forgot. But the godling would hang around the grandmother, right, and play little music tunes. Okay, and what happened is that he needed his voice back. And because the kids was playing with his voice and they got stuck up in the nest. So eventually you get his voice back and he started talking and shit like that, right? And he said, hey, yo, I know where the silver-haired girl at. We have to talk to the grandmother, right? You follow me so far? Well, I'm going in the woods and stuff like that. He's avoiding all these creatures and shit. He's real fast and shit, going to the woods and shit. He says, look out, I'm over that way. I said, I ain't afraid of them motherfuckers. I fought them many times, okay? So I'm like going back to the grandmother, and the grandma said, didn't I tell you to get your ass out of here? Get your ass out of here. And the next thing you know, she said, well, I have to be here now because, you know, you're a witcher. So you have the power to seduce people's minds. It's like a Jedi trick or some shit like that.
Yeah. I remember that in the game.
And I'm like, the little creature, the godling says, okay, you have to help him because he helped me get my voice back. They said, and then the grandmother said to the little ones, I don't want you back over here no more. Didn't I tell you not to come back over here? Because of the crones. Because of the crones. They're scared of the crones.
The crones.
Okay? I'll tell you who the fucking crones is, man. Oh my fucking God, man. So the woman eventually helps me. She said, go to this man to get this knife. You know, a little task I gotta do, and say that person will understand. So I go to the man. Listen to this. I go to the man and I get this knife. Okay. And he tells me, before I give you this knife, you have to do a task for me. You have to go to this tree. This reminds me of motherfucking Game of Thrones. He said, go to this tree first and kill off this creature in the tree. Okay, listen to this shit. So I'm going into the fucking tree, and this is this fucking monstrosity and shit, man. Like, yo, man. But anyway, if you want to hear more of the story, I will eventually continue it. You know, I don't know if you want to hear the rest of it.
Yeah, I do. I want to see what's going to happen, bro.
Yo, man, this monstrosity. You had to find your way. There's a werewolf out there guarding the area and shit.
I specifically want to know about these crones, though.
Yeah, I'll tell you about it, man. Yeah, I know I'm kind of long-winded, but there's a whole bunch of dead bodies around the tree and shit. I had to fight like 2 werewolves and shit like that. And it's probably the werewolves that killed all them people. Because I think the werewolf, those humans the people was trying to get away, or they're trying to destroy the tree. Okay, so but the werewolf is a part of nature. It destroyed everybody around it. It's nothing but dead bodies in certain areas. So I'm like, I kill all this bullshit. I found the secret cave using a magic lamp, which I got a long time ago. Okay, I don't think you need a lamp. You just have to look real carefully. I'm going inside of the tree, underneath the tree, in the ground. And I see this monstrosity, and the monstrosity started speaking to me. I am cursed. And a long story short, is that I thought the creature was evil, right? But the creature said that the crones put me under this spell. They put me under this spell over like tens of thousands of years ago, and I've been suffering in torment, looking in the leaves, looking in the trees. I'm like, what kind of shit? Yo, man, and I'm telling you, I said, yo, what the fuck? And said, you should not trust the cronies because the children is what I was trying to protect. Okay, the children is what I was trying to protect from the cronies. And now I was like, wait a minute. I think this tree it gives you choices like fucking Mass Effect and shit. It says, okay, you could say, I don't believe you. You could say, I'm like, yo, for real? Seriously, for real? Okay. But anyway,
just trying to protect the children. That's it.
Okay, so listen to this shit, man. Listen to this shit. So I'm basically going in there, and the tree is telling me this bullshit. And I'm going back to the grandmother one last time. Okay. And the grandmother said, okay, you got the knife or something like that. Okay. You got the knife. Let's go to the crones themselves. Okay. But she don't know that the crones is those creatures that's inside of a painting. Isn't this some shit she don't know? She doesn't know. So she takes me.
Are these crones of like alien race, or they're part of Earth too?
Yeah, but they're old, very old. They look they're deformed. They look like they love human body parts. It's just like this. Let me tell you this shit, man. Yo, I gave her this knife because I may got the story a little bit backwards, but I may be telling some things in advance. But she brings me to this tapestry on the wall, and this shit scared the shit out of me, man. I'm like, yo, this grandmother brings me to this tapestry on the wall, and she gets possessed by this tapestry on the wall, right? Which is basically the crones, but they probably don't know, or probably she's trapped. Okay. So eventually I found out she is trapped though. So other than that, these crones are speaking to me in demonic voices and shit, feminine doll entities or some shit. It's kind of like a 3 voices in one type shit, right? They hear everything in the woods. They hear everything that goes on in reality. They are linked to the fucking Matrix. Listen to this shit. You can't escape these fucking crones. And I'll tell you how they look and shit after I tell you about this tree. Okay, so I'm like, so these creatures are telling me you have to go to that tree and kill the tree, right? Remember I told you about the tree?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, yo, for real, man? I'm like, you want me to go there and kill it? And that's when the first time I saw the tree. And so she says the hairs is connected. And then I'm like, yo, for real, man? I'm like, every piece of hair that floats in the air, that's how they keep in communication. They're a part of water and earth. So that's a powerful element, man. They are the masters of the water and earth element. Think about that. Think about that, man.
That's crazy. So
go ahead.
No, it's like these. Okay. So how long do you think they've been around though?
Oh, they're actually, the age of these cronies are older than the trees themselves. Older than the trees and land itself. So anyhow, long story short, I'm going back to this tree, and it's telling me, I told them, there's a lot of dead bodies and a lot of kids and stuff being killed and stuff like that. She said, this is a lie. Don't believe them. Free me. She said, free me from this curse. Inside the tree, she's trapped in this body because the crones killed her.
Yeah.
The crones killed her because she wanted to protect the children. She wanted to protect the fucking children. She knew about the magic and shit. So I'm like, I said, okay, I don't think this tree is lying to me. So I wanted to help the tree, man. So eventually the tree told me to get 3 items. I got the 3 items, right? I got the 3 items and brought it back. The horse is the last item. The horse actually is the reincarnation of the woman that got killed. So I had to force the horse to drink the blood and stab the fucking tree in the heart. Some crazy, yo, man, it's kind of reminds me of fucking Berserk or some shit. I'm like, I forced the horse to drink the blood so it can free the creature from, the woman. She was actually a woman at one time, from the tree's curse. The horse gets possessed and says, thank you very much. You will not regret this later on. I think that you can take this a different way too. So you got to be careful, man. I think the story changes in the future depending on what you do. Okay.
That's how the Witcher is too, though.
And I'm like, yo,
all these games.
I was like, yo, I didn't tell nobody that I didn't kill the creature. I kept it secret though. Okay. See, the thing is that once the tree took possession of the dark black horse, right? The horse turned into some kind of, it turned real strong, and its eyes start turning red and shit, and it says, "Thank you very much. I will not forget about this." And I said, "Oh shit." I said, you help me, and now I'm going to get the kids and free them. And I'm like, okay, maybe I did something right. So I'm going back to the village, okay, where I got the knife from, okay, and he cuts his ear off. Listen to this shit, man. He said, "Thank you very much for killing the tree." He thinks I killed the tree. He said, "What happened? Tell me the story." And I said, "No, it's none of your concern."
Wow.
I said, "I'm not going to tell you what she said or what kind of spirits, whatever. I'm not." He cut his ear off with the knife. Cut his ear off, and gave it to me with the knife and said, "Go to the grandmother in the woods and tell them that you have completed your task." Right. So I'm going up to. So as I'm approaching the little village where all the kids was at, the kids was gone. All of the kids was gone. Did you hear me?
Yeah, all the kids was gone. Where did they go?
Maybe because of the horse. Maybe because of the horse. He took them away. And what happens is that the creatures revealed themselves to me. I thought it was going to be a battle. Oh, shit. I said, I know they can hear everything, but Jesus Christ. But you know what they said to me? You know what these creatures said to me? They said, "We know all what you have done." Okay. I was like, oh shit. I thought it was gonna be a battle.
So they all seeing too. Interesting.
They saw me. I'm pretty sure it says that they can see all things. You said you cannot hide from these creatures. You can't. They know all. They're in the fibers of the earth. They're in the fibers of the tree. They're in fibers of the water. And then I was like, I wanted to see, because I knew I was gonna get swallowed up, but I didn't care. But you know what they said to me? You know what the crones revealed themselves to me and said, "We know what you did." They look like some monstrosities and shit that was twisted and shit, and you could see their faces as old, like they look like old witches, right? But their bodies was deformed, and they was carrying bags of human flesh and ears. Okay, it was carrying all sorts of pieces. They would look filthy. It was nasty. It was disgusting. It was like, oh shit, man! I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck did I do? Okay. And there were three of them. They're interchangeable. They cannot be separated. You cannot. There's no. You know what I said to them? I wanted to fuck with them, and you know what they said? You know what the crones said to me? They said that you must be attracted to us. We can transform ourselves. We are, attracted to you, the Witcher. We are attracted to you. We know what you did. Okay. And he said, and then I said to them, what you did. They told me the history of the silver-headed girl. They gave me the history, and they showed a side scene in which they did eventually pick her up. The crones picked her up. His silver-headed daughter, they picked her up, right? And they had intentions on chopping her feet off and eating it. Okay, they had intentions. They told the truth. The cronies told them, said she had tasty feet. She was very rambunctious, and he was hungry for the feet. That's all we wanted, because somebody was looking for her. Somebody was looking for his daughter. Okay, and when you have the option to say to her, okay, I agree. Okay, fine. Okay, but since they told you that they wanted to chop your daughter's feet off, you said to them, okay, I'm going to come back and kill you, right? And said, well, you said that, right? And he said, no, that's all in the wind. You can't stop us. We're invincible. Okay, they tell you straight up, we cannot be stopped by your weapons and your time. I was like, oh shit, I fucked up. I did fuck up. But since they said they're attracted to me, okay, they said we will spare you, okay, for your foolishness. And we will tell you this one last thing. She escaped from us. We didn't get a chance to chop her feet, okay, and eat them for a delicacy. And I was like, holy shit, man. I'm telling you, if you see all these creatures, man, I'm like, yo, that shit is fucking horrifying, man. I was like, yo, I can't. The only way I can describe it as is like, the Saw. You saw the movie called Saw.
Yep.
And he chopped off body parts and shit like that. That's what it looked like, a bag full of fetuses and all sorts of nasty stuff that was
Maybe,
carried around their neck.
maybe he was doing that shit for the Crohn's. Ain't no fucking tell.
They were the Crones. They were the Crones.
Fuck, dog.
Shit, man. That's the only thing I wanted to say, though. There's a whole nother side quest to it. That's all I wanted to say, okay? But I'm like, yo, this game is kind of deep, man. I'm like, yo, man, you have options to say something. They could have destroyed you right then and there for disobeying them, okay? But they didn't. But other than that, man, what do you think about that story, man?
Man, it makes me want to fucking watch fucking Witcher. That's what the fuck it makes me want to do.
I think you should just watch the Netflix version and shit.
That's what fucking makes me want to do.
And then watch that shit, because what's her name? Her name is Winning. Okay, her name is Winning. Mm-hmm. I ain't gonna tell the story about that. I'm not gonna ruin it for you, but it starts off really fucking good. The Witcher. That shit starts off top of the line, man, all the way through. And then you want to see more. It only has 9 episodes. I was fucking mad, man. I was fucking mad. What the fuck, man? Just come out with at least 2 series or something. Don't make this one series, because maybe they don't think it's gonna be good. They know it's gonna be good. You know it's gonna be good, man. What they did, they put a lot of effort. The whole series in fucking Witcher was way better than the fucking Game of Thrones. I swear to not. I swear to you not, man. It was so good that I was like, Jesus Christ, man, who's making up these stories? You would never, what kind of story they contrived in the Witcher? You would never believe it. Okay? Yeah. Oh my goodness, man.
I'm gonna be back on in a minute, man. I got a slide.
My conversation earlier.
Yeah.
If you're a Jesus type, that creature that I met in the woods, right? You hear me?
Yeah.
That creature reminds me where I come from. My ancestors was a godling. And so this little creature said that he's connected to the earth. Anything happens to him, the earth suffers. You hear me?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Kind of like Avatar. Avatar keeps coming back.
Yeah.
Okay. So if bad things started happening around you, when someone does something wrong, you'll learn, if you're the Jesus type, you'll know that you have some sort of ability. And people make fun of me all of the time. You saw that movie called Carrie?
Yes.
Okay, remember Carrie? It wasn't her fault that all them people got killed.
Yeah, and then for fucking with her.
She was just upset. She was angry and shit. She couldn't control her power. Hello?
Yeah, but that's crazy. That's I mean, I remember that fucking movie, man. But
they poured pig's blood on her head.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, did she have superpowers, or did she some kind of way internalize all the shit that was given to her that gave her the power to have that output? You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I had a friend that watched that movie too, and there was on some shit like, yeah, she had superpowers, but I was like, nah, she just fucking internalized all that fucking bullshit. What the fuck is in pig's blood? Didn't fucking God or Jesus put the fucking demons in fucking pig's blood and shit and send them in the fucking lake and shit? And they poured.
Yeah, I can't hear you. You sound very low. You got your phone?
Oh, the mic is. Oh, hold on. I'll be back. Fuck.
Okay. But as he's going away, okay, please understand, if you have any questions, if you just joined in here, I'm not long-winded. I tell interesting stories, okay, because I'm a schizo. Okay, I told you I can beat Eminem's ass really quick, man. He's not a good fighter, and he had a black log up his ass, okay. But as he comes back and try to reset his phone, his audio, I want to tell you about them. If you wouldn't know if you're the Jesus type, and I keep telling people about this, be careful who you speak to. There's a lot of people born in this world just as the same way as Jesus. It is called immaculate conception. Look it up yourself. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna write it down so y'all motherfuckers can know. Immaculate. Okay, spell immaculate. Okay. Immaculate conception. Okay, conception. Now the thing is that when you look it up, you'll only see. Okay, just people who are stupid out there. So I'm going to send that to y'all so you can do some research. There are about 1% of the population of the earth who have the same types of births as if Jesus was born. But you have to understand, that's why I say stop believing in Jesus, because there's other people born without the male spermatozoid. Believe me this, about 1% of people are born with both the male sac of reproduction organs and also the female sac at the same time. And I was like, yo, I was shocked about this. But I'm telling you, if you try to look it up on the internet, you will see Mary's Immaculate Conception. But the scientific side of it, okay, it's hard to find because I kept looking at it and said, how many people were born through the same Immaculate Conception as Jesus? And I said, y'all gotta be careful. Jesus is coming back in human form. And I strongly believe I'm a Jesus too as well. Though my insides may not be as pure as a monk who live in far on the Far East, I have the holy heart and the holy fire. And so for every time I speak about my power and shit like that, it seems to be like people get hurt, okay, around me. People start dying around me. So I try to stay away from people, okay? So if you want to know if you're Jesus like that, I started at the age of 7 years old, and then I started hearing the voices, okay, when I was going to chop my daddy's head off, right? So as I was about to chop my daddy's head off in complete darkness, right next to my mom, because, you know, the voice told me, yo, don't do that, man. We got your back, man. Don't do that. You're supposed to suffer. You're supposed to suffer. Like, I'm supposed to suffer? Are you fucking mind? I desire living in this motherfucking life by at least about 60-40. 60% I'm unhappy and 40% I'm happy because of the stories. The stories itself make this life a beautiful, nightmarish world. And please understand this. I'm not no fucking Bobby Hammond, okay? My powers are fucking real. And I keep trying to tell you, you want to make fun of them? You want to subconsciously think they're not real and you want to put a curse on my picture? As a matter of fact, I'm going to talk about that, how to protect yourself from the evil eye. So just be patient. I make sure my videos are top of the line here. Okay, I'm not crazy, okay? Now, people may think I'm crazy, okay? But just don't make fun of me, okay? You give me my monies and my donations so I can help out other people who are poor, okay? Just joking. You don't have to, because I don't care for most of you massive asses. But anyway, let me go on with my subject here. I'm going to say there are plenty of people in the world who are born just like Jesus, who are sinless, just like myself, just like Jesus, okay? And also preach just like fucking Jesus, okay? And if you have a closed mind and say, no, that's not true, there's only one, please get the hell off my fucking page, please. Because that's the whole moral of what I'm saying. That's why I don't like people following me. I don't want masses listen to me because they're mostly stupid. Most of them are stupid. What of the possibilities? What is the probabilities of there's other individuals who have no fucking sins? Holla fucking Luya. And you fucked up because you made fun of the wrong person. You have a chance. Just like Mahatma Gandhi says, you can go back to that past and fix your past because your karma is due in the near future, motherfuckers. Now, let's continue on here. How this is related to religion. Read your Bible very clearly. It says in the Bible, woe is my children. Oh, God has multiple children, motherfuckers. God has multiple children. And you fuck with them, they will be your judge and maker. Yeah, have you ever heard of reincarnation and shit? Y'all don't read about no reincarnation. Jesus reincarnated himself after he died and came back after 3 days later. The Bible clearly says that people will take the mark. And people will follow jolly for themselves. Okay, there will be false, blasphemous individuals who's preaching in Jesus' name, but are not for Jesus, because Jesus is actually everyone that you speak to and everyone that you know. This world is a purgatory. It is a hell on earth, but you can make it into a paradise if you can. Okay, because it's up to you if you want to leave this planet. Because if you have fear in your heart, you can't have the God complex. You can't go back to the Godhead. If you have fear in your heart, then you might as well go through that tunnel of light like everybody else is doing and come right back here. Because if you have attachments, what the Buddha said it the best. The Buddha said it's attachments it's a form of fear. Just attachments itself. I like the stories in this life. Imagine if I like this life and I was so much in love with this life, then it's okay. It's completely okay. But let me tell you what I'm saying, how this relates to the Bible. The Bible is, think about nanotechnology. Think about this coronavirus. Okay? Think about all of the individuals that you rejected because you didn't want to listen. Because you thought, okay, that person is crazy and shit. But you're the one who's actually delusional. When a person tells you that they're Jesus and you don't believe it and you thinking they're blaspheming the name and then you kill them, you're doing the same thing perpetually that actually happened to the Joan of the Arcs and the Rasputins and Jesuses in the past. And if you keep doing this cycle over and over again, most people are going to suffer. As a matter of fact, And the Bible clearly tells you that the whore of Babylon is the one who creates the greatest chaos of all times. And then you may consider her Lilith or whatever. You may consider her Lilith. She drinks the blood of saints, which is innocent boys, virgin boys, okay? Because innocent girls can only be pure if they're not bleeding at that time, okay? Please understand, blood is important, but the dirty blood is not important. We don't need dirty bloods, okay? But of course, you don't have to believe me at all. I'm just telling you that the Bible clearly says that when the people become righteous, self-righteous within themselves, meaning that they're liars and blasphemous, using Jesus' name as a way of making they capitalize on the weaknesses of people, okay? Then most people will have to die because you've been corrupted. You've been brainwashed. Ever since I was 7 years old, I believe that it has to be something more because Jesus can't exist if it can't exist, if he can't just come and materialize right in front of me. And then I ask people about this God complex as they go to sleep. When you go to sleep, okay, you can't remember stuff, right? So we're living in the matrix. You can't control it. You can't, because you're in the body. You're in the body, peoples. But let me continue on what I'm saying here. If you are a Jesus type, you will be literally considered crazy, just like they did with Jesus. And then all of a sudden, you had power. I walked in Ethiopia and I tested this shit out. I had my Moses stick and people laughing at my Moses stick. I said, but I'm going to have the last laugh, motherfuckers. And it's not my fault. I said, I'm not responsible. This deity's watching over you, motherfuckers. I swear to God. I went over to Ethiopia and shit, carried my Moses stick. My wife seen my magical abilities. I said, I wanted a chicken place built, and it's small stuff that I asked for. It's very small. And these things are being built. I dare not try to ask for anything big. I don't really ask for anything big. But what I'm saying is that if you've been going through a lot of hell, and I know a lot of virgin boys and virgin guys out there are like the Jesus, and you don't have any sins. You don't smoke, you don't drink, you don't hang with nobody, you're introverted and shit. Who are you? Because you're just like me. I'm Mad Max. I'm not your average man. I'm not your beat up man. Right? So let's continue on with the subject here. So if you're the Jesus type, you know you don't fit in with the rest of the people in the world. If you're indigo type of individual, okay, please understand it starts at an early age, not at a later age, because you start to realize your true potential at that age. You start to understand your true potential at an early age, not a later age, because you've been already fucking smoking and drinking and shit like that. I always kept myself away from the public. I got picked on. Sure, I got picked on. But other than that, if you're there, you know how to comment. You know how to speak about what you have to say. You have questions, you put it down. Hello, little one. She's my future, though. You are God. Remember that, Zaza. Don't let nobody say that you're not a little God. Okay? I love you.
I love you too.
All right. And so if you believe yourself as a little God, now people get things misconstrued when we're talking about God, okay? I'm like, what? I'm not a demiurge God. Now we talking on a different level type of gods now here. Everyone's here on this planet so they can understand and learn what pride and humility is, what suffering is. And if you understand what pride, humility, and suffering is, you are in purgatory. Okay? On the other side is perfect. You might not want to return to the other side. You might just want to stay here, y'all peoples. You might just want to stay here in this world, which is the domain of Lilith. The feminine aspect of things, materializing things, chaos and destruction. As a matter of fact, you know the greatest thing about this world? The best stories come from this world. It is a hard world. Actually, matter of fact, Sylvia Brown talked about this. As a matter of fact, Sylvia Brown also predicted this canary virus coming back and disappearing as it came. Okay, but people do have some power sometimes. Sometimes they don't listen too clearly. But I listen very clearly, motherfuckers. I listen very clearly. I listen very clearly to my voices, my inner voices. And I say most of you asses should not be following me because you are the problem of the world. You were born by the whore of Babylon. Most of the mothers are whores. So what are you going to do about that? Okay. Of course, there's different species who like sex. Of course, but the more times you crossbreed things, the more chaos occurs. And that is why we are living in a world of chaos and destruction just for entertainment purposes. So don't take it too seriously. Stop taking it so seriously. Live your life the best way you can. Have an open mind to the probabilities and probabilities of everything I'm fucking saying, peoples. But, of course, nanotechnology is going to basically activate when they activate this 5G. And I don't think I think I'm immune probably. Okay. I don't think I'll get a brain aneurysm or anything like that. I don't know, man. They say this shit is all linked. The Bible prophecy says that everybody will be self-righteous in their own doing, in their own ways and shit like that. But who cares? But of course, there's a lot of people who speak in Jesus' name, and they're going to be cast away and say, "Who are you? I don't know who you are, but we spoke in your name. We spoke Jesus in your name. Away from me," it says in the Bible. But please understand, I'm not your average man. I'm not your Peter Pan. I'm not your average man. I'm not your Peter Pan. I'm not your average man. I'm not your Frozen. Remember Frozen? Yeah. What's that song? I wanna take a little candle. What's the song called? I wanna. What Frozen she sings? What's that song?
Elsa.
Elsa saying what? Oh yeah, I got the tone right. Do you wanna build a fucking snowman? Now I see Elsa as a Jesus type. Now she had to run. She actually ran away from people. I'm like, there's people out there who are witches. They have to stay away from humanity because humanity can be some cruel motherfuckers. You have to hide your special powers at all times. You can't be exposing yourself. So everything I can say can be a lie. Okay, so people don't have to believe me that the canary virus was caused by me. And of course, Ethiopia was first thing to fall because they had war when I left that country. And I was like, as soon as I show my face on it, it's just fucking entertaining. But they might try to stop me. Draconians might try to stop me and shit. I might get a heart attack or some shit, but I can't. Death can't stop me. I'm more powerful than they are. Okay, that's crazy as fuck, right? Okay, if I want to go back to the universe and shit in the darkness of space and be a demiurge god in my next life, I can do that. Because y'all motherfuckers have too much fear for me. Most of y'all got too much fear. Did you just sneeze? Did you just sneeze? You got the canary virus? I'm gonna have to chop your head, okay? Yeah, wait, let me continue on and say nanotechnology is basically their new age technology to reduce the population. If you don't get these vaccinations, which I tell you people all the time, don't get the vaccinations because that's what this world is about. It's a beautiful masterpiece of a story. If you get the vaccination, they can choose life over death for you, kill you at will, anytime, any place. They can kill you right now if they want. If they really want to take you, they take you. They're not white people. People keep thinking, oh, it's the white people, and it's not all the time. They're shapeshifters. Most of the time, they look like they're white people. What is it?
Can I watch a video or not?
Not yet. Not yet. I'm almost done. We got to talk about one more thing. We got to talk about how these people can actually protect the good Jesus. You can only protect yourself from evil spells from the evil eye if you have a pure heart. Remember that now. You have to give a little bit of blood too sometimes. That blood spilled on the earth, and it knows who the fuck you are. All right? It knows who the fuck you are. Please understand this. You can only use this reflection spell only if you have a pure heart. Okay, let's get that very clear. Okay, but anyway, I'll tell you about it. But the Bible prophecy make it very clear that there are others just like Jesus in this world. And so he had 12 women disciples as well, which gave the true definition of what this reality is about. What this true definite reality is about is a game. It's a matrix. And you can choose to leave it after the flesh has been shed. When the flesh has been shed, you basically can go anywhere you want. No one can judge you because you are a quark. And if you are a quark like the Q and fucking Star Trek, you can do anything. But if you don't believe that, I feel fucking bad for you. Because you all came here, motherfucker. You all came here and you lost your memories on purpose. You know what I always come back with every time I come into a planet like this? If I'm a bug, okay, if I'm an animal or some intelligent species, I always have the power to ask questions and learn more rather than fall for the masses of asses. To be a follower is to be controlled by God, which is a capital G, capital G-O-D. That capital G turned backwards, it's spelled dog. And dog means what? Dogma. And dogma means what? Propaganda. And propaganda means what? Paganism. False information. False evidence appearing real. That's fucking fear. That's fucking fair. Right? You coughing again? I told you I'm immune to it. Every time somebody calls me, like, you like to fuck with me, don't you? Right? What is the definition of fuck? What's the definition of fuck?
Fucking.
Fucking funny. You fucking funny fuck. But anyway, now since we already talked about how to know if you're Jesus, let's talk about this last thing. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna talk about real parents in the next episode. I try to keep it down under 1 hour unless someone's joining me, okay? You know, then I talk a little bit more, but I'm gonna keep the real. Who are the real parents? Who are the motherfucking real parents out there? Okay, we're gonna talk about that in our next one. Okay, I'm gonna circle that. Okay, here, how to protect yourself from the evil eye. Now, you have man. I'm telling you right now, everyone's magic. What you read about the evil eye is like a witch can look at you and put a spell on you or a curse instantly just by looking at you. Be careful because you don't know who that person is. If the person don't like me, like I said, I'm on the internet and people, women and men don't like me and shit. They're like, I don't like. A couple people don't like me, but they don't know me. A couple people don't like me. They don't know me. A couple people don't like me. They don't know me. They see my face. They hear what I sound like. I sound like I wanted to do as much damage as possible. But of course, there is a way to protect yourself. It is a reflection spell. We don't have to worry about protection spells when you can do reflection spells. Will that make a lot of sense to you guys? Yeah, that's how to do it. Though I can't tell you everything because you're on your own magic. You have to understand to take your own picture and damage your own picture. And if anyone touches the picture, that you only damage yourself, okay, rather than anyone else. And someone adds to that energy, that negative energy. I feed off of negative energy. I'm like that godling, like I told you about earlier in that story with that little boy and shit. He was like, are you an inkling? Are you a hobbit? Are you a goblet? He didn't know who the fuck he was. His eyes was all big and shit. That's The Witcher 3. Pay attention, y'all guys. And so I was like, yo, this fucking creature is a part of the earth. Yo, that's a very powerful spirit, very powerful energy there. And I think I'm one of them. So I got to stay away from most human beings and shit. And I hope my daughter turns the right way and she sees my magic as she's growing. Because sometimes I'll say something and then it has happened right on cue, exactly what I said. And then people just ignore it and say, oh, that's so different. Then it happens 2 more times and 3 more times. And like, oh, they keep doing it. They keep doing the same shit. That's like my wife. She keeps doing it. She don't understand. She don't understand. She saw what she saw in Ethiopia. Okay? It's dusty. Okay, so my daughter got coronavirus and you're gonna be dead. Oh my goodness! Now, so you take a picture of yourself. Reflection spells are very easy to do. You may need a little bit of your own blood, and you put an X over your own picture with your own blood. Yeah, see, I said it real quick, so I can't tell you too much after that. So you use your intuition on what to do next to protect yourself from reflection. You have to receive the negative energy, motherfuckers. You have to receive the negative energy in order for it to work. And if you are in the right, only if you're in the right, and you are not a fool, okay? Meaning a fool means that you're telling nothing but lies. You're not telling the truth. Okay? You don't have to tell the full truth, but you're just not telling the truth in a way that they want to hear it. Because I don't submit to fucking feminists today. I say, go ahead and be a feminist. I don't submit to criminals. I say, go ahead. I don't submit to pedophiles. I say, go ahead, just tell the truth. But when someone makes and defames your character and they try to spread your name the wrong way like fucking peanut butter, that's when they get their shit. Peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time. Wait a minute. Jelly time. This is all entertainment, peoples. But it's okay. Because I'm not your average man. I'm not your Peter Pan. Okay. There's so many people watching me. I see people watching me and shit. But anyway, on the next episode, when you come on my show, make sure you have some piece of paper, write down some things, because Underboss was just talking about some path and what the I miswrote it. Okay. Contagion. Okay, it's called Contagion. And I recommend people to watch The Witcher and watch Bird Box. That's probably still on Netflix. I also recommend watching The Blacklist from the beginning now. You got to start from the beginning. Don't start from the middle now. That shit is hot, man. I think he should be president of the United States. Mr. Raymond Reddington. His name is James Spade, okay? Oh my, he's such an excellent actor. He was a CIA operatives and shit like that, and his life just went upside down when he had to go back to be with his daughter for some obvious reason because of the fucking cabal and shit, and the illuminated ones and shit. Like that shit gets deep as fuck. And then they got spin-offs from the fucking Blacklist, and I'm like, yo, watch The Dark Crystal. Trust. Watch Pennywise. Okay, no, not Pennywise. It's called I can't. No, it's called Penny. No, Penny's. I forgot what it is. You know, I watch a lot of movies. I don't think it's Pennywise. That's another movie though. That's a little leprechaun type motherfucker. But anyway, I'm not your average man. Oh yeah, if you have an itch in your throat, because I gotta cross that out too. Please eat something. If you got an itch in your throat, Zaza, is it an itch in your throat? I'm gonna have to chop your head off now. Okay, when we get off, okay. But anyway, if this coronavirus is in the ear, please understand that you're gonna need. Please understand, I'm not your average man. I said, you know, I was gonna say that shit. Told you I'm immune to the motherfucker, but it's okay. But anyway, if you feel itching in your throat, eat something, drink something. Okay, take some Halls. They say Halls have microscopic pieces of aborted babies and shit inside. Okay, Mary Kay products and most makeup and shit. Most women are clowns. They don't understand what's in the makeup. They don't know what's in the makeup, so they're being cursed. Sometimes my wife wears this clown ass makeup. I say, "What are you wearing that for? You ain't pretty, baby. Even with that, you look like a clown." Even pretty women who have this makeup on their face are clowns. Take advantage of the clown. Grab it by the fucking head, the serpent's head, and you know, put it on your dick. Okay, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, you know, and try to bite it, but if you got a hard dick, it won't be able to have it. It's spinning won't stop you. You know, you're immune. Okay, reverse that shit, you guys. I say some sacred stuff in this video, and I know most of you will not understand what I'm saying, but it's okay. Because I'm not your average man. I'm not your Peter Pan. But of course, what else is there to say? Contagion. And let me see, okay. I indirectly caused the coronavirus. And I indirectly caused the crack that happened in Africa and also Ethiopia in the war. Okay. I didn't do it. I am not responsible for people laughing at me. Like that movie called Carrie. Okay, people was poor pig bloods. It's always a bunch of people, majority of the masses of asses, which is you, who's going to suffer the most. Okay, and I can't wait to see how many people die. Okay, and come back, because that's all you're going to do is come back, die, and come back because you believe in Jesus. Jesus means you go through a tunnel of life. You know, I'm going to tell you about this. I have a near-death experience I want to talk about, but I'm not going to talk about it now. Okay, there's so much stuff to talk about here. When you have a near-death experience and you're going in where everybody else is going, that's a machine up there. You take a telescope and you'll find out there's a spaceship up there. And that spaceship will regurgitate you and manipulate you to come back here so it can recycle you so you won't have to go out there. Okay, there's different types of spaceships. There's different levels and different dimensions, but you're not really interested in stuff like that. So if I want to be a demiurge god and live for 2,000 years, which I probably have, I basically just want to see video games and more stories to tell and shit like that. A lot of humans don't like demiurge gods, especially the ones like Gilgamesh. Okay, and of course the demons be coming out and shit. If I'm coming, then there'll be a demon I have to fight and shit like that. I probably might get defeated again. Okay, but I'm always reborn. I'm always reborn in something because it's exciting. It's exciting, beautiful fucking life, you guys. Though, of course, I want to continue on and talk about my NDE experience, near-death experience. I got to write that down. Okay. As I said before, when you come in here, take the time to talk about my near-death experience. Okay, you got to write things down, yeah, peoples. Okay, I talked about in this video how to reflective magic, which I didn't even write it down. I really wanted to talk about how to hurt someone with a simple picture, okay, or a doll, but I said I can't do that. He always said, don't talk to people like that. I can't do the I gotta cross it. I don't do that. I don't have to do that though. But I know the true way. There's people who have dolls and they put that image, they mark that image on them and shit. But they don't understand that's a pure-hearted individual. That's Jesus you're fucking with. And next thing you know, their life is all fucked up. So you don't want to this, because most humans are not capable. You know, when I talk about reverse magic and shit, I'm talking this magic is mainly used for those innocent virgin men out there. If you're not a virgin, you're still okay. Okay, just repent and make sure you don't do it again. If you're a virgin boy, okay, you're a messiah. Okay, if you consider yourself a messiah, that's even more powerful. You maybe have caused one or two sins in your life, but you made up for it. Okay, you know you gotta. Sometimes when you fuck with the wrong person, that shit comes back as maybe karma, dharma. Okay, you want to believe in that. Okay, just like a lot of people believe in Jesus, it's the same type of mysticism. Okay, you know what I'm saying. So you gotta protect yourself, you guys. Everybody has to protect themselves. Some people are more magical than the others. All right. So I love you all. I hate to many of you. So I really can't talk about how to hurt someone through simple picture magic. I probably talked about it in the past, and then it probably got pulled down. Okay, so I can't talk about that. Okay, I talked about how to know if you're the Jesus type. I told you if you have an itching in your throat and what you should do. Who the hell is this? Oh my God. She got a nice little kabunka bunk. I gotta put my glasses on to see that. Who is this? Oh no, she don't have a kabunka bunk. It looks like she does. Yeah, I don't like small booty girls. Okay, I don't go into lust. I picture what the crack of their ass looks like, and then I realize it's dirty after all. Okay. I remember. I remember I saw this girl, right? She had a nice ass, but she had tapeworms in her booty crack. Tapeworms. And then she was eating too much pork or some shit. I inspect women's bodies and I said, and I smacked it, and I didn't want no bugs falling on it. Okay, and I said, you know, put your panties back on. Lucky half her clothes were still on because I didn't want that shit on my bed. And then I told her, I said, you don't have to keep yourself clean. I was kind about it. And she was smiling and said, yeah, I like the way you smack. I said, yeah, but I can't put the strap on in you because I don't want it to get infected. Okay. All right. But other than that, that's another story. That's one of my voyages. Okay. But anyway, peace and love to brothers and sisters. Welcome to my page. If you have any comments, questions, insults, or verse, you put it down below. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. I usually stay on for an hour unless someone stays on it, and stay on the video chat. But he had something wrong with his audio. He went into the tunnel or some shit. I don't know. But the masses ain't gonna help you if you get a dog nearby. Those masses ain't gonna help you if your child got the canary virus and it costs to you because some people are immune to it, you guys. All right. So I talked about multiple things. If you like this video, like it. But I recommend you not like it because you're not a pure heart. You're not a pure breed. Nobody's really a pure breed. But a pure heart, you're not. Okay, most of you are not pure hearts. I know this is a fact. Okay, so we're not going to discuss how I know this. Okay, again, you don't have to subscribe. I don't ask for subscribers, peoples. I don't ask for likes. If I want likes and subscribers, you can. I'd rather have donations. You know, it's better. Donations are better than likes. I know people try to share your shit, but it's not a good thing because there's only a few people that you need to get donations from in order to be rich. Okay, right? You know, if you want to make me rich, do it electronically. Don't send it to my P.O. box. Because once you start to know me and say, what's your P.O. box? And you send me a check and I'm like, let's send it back. Okay. Because I don't know who you are. I don't know who you are. I have sent back tens of thousands of dollars before, and people think I'm joking. Okay. I cannot easily be bought. I am not going to cash a dollar check. Okay. A check. And then next thing you know, your soul belongs to me. No, it doesn't work that way. Okay. All right. You can't be bought. You hear me? That's called blood money. Okay. Somebody had to kill somebody and then they give you that money. That's called bad energy. That's why I don't carry cash on me and shit. I do everything digitally. Okay, people, it's lovely, bro. Okay, brothers and sisters, I'm out of here, you guys. I gotta eat my oatmeal. And anything y'all want to talk about before I get out of here? One more minute. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here right now because nobody's watching me. But other than that, next episode, I'm gonna try to talk about who are the real parents. Okay, I talked about that already. You see, how I indirectly caused the canary virus. I talked about that. and he talked about Florida, quarantine in Florida. Am I done yet? Do you have the coronavirus? Yes or no? You say no. Look at you. You look. Get away from me. Get away. She like to joke around all the time. But anyway, she hasn't been around nobody. So if the coronavirus is actually in the air, we all fucked. I'll beat you. You gave me the coronavirus. But anyway, peace and love to brothers and sisters. Don't like know what's on my page. You know the comment, question, insult, and roast you put it down below. And y'all have a nice motherfucking day. Okay, so in 3, 2.